There may be tens of millions of colossal squid living in the Southern Ocean, the largest invertebrate on Earth. An animal that can weigh over 1,000 pounds. A predator equipped with rotating hooks, eyes the size of basketballs, and tentacles powerful enough to battle sperm whales. And until recently, humanity had never filmed one alive in its natural habitat. At first, that sounds reasonable. The deep ocean is enormous. Most of it remains unexplored. Maybe colossal squid are simply rare. Maybe they live in places we haven't reached yet. Maybe they're just exceptionally difficult to find. But when scientists started looking at the evidence, something didn't add up. Because colossal squid don't appear to be rare at all. In fact, some estimates suggest they may be one of the most abundant large predators in the entire Southern Ocean, which creates a strange problem. If they're everywhere, why can't we find them? For decades, the colossal squid occupied a strange place in science. Everyone agreed it existed. Whales were eating them. Fragments appeared in fishing nets. Occasionally, dead specimens surfaced from the depths. But seeing one alive was another matter entirely. The animal seemed to exist only in pieces. A beak here, a tentacle there, a carcass hauled up from the darkness. It was as if one of the largest predators on Earth had somehow learned how to disappear. Then came an even stranger realization. The more scientists studied the Southern Ocean, the less likely rarity seemed as an explanation, because there was growing evidence that colossal squid might actually be everywhere. One of the strongest clues came from an unexpected source: sperm whales. These giants spend much of their lives hunting deep beneath the ocean's surface, and when researchers examined their diets, they discovered something remarkable. Colossal squid appeared again and again, not occasionally, not as a rare meal, consistently. In some regions, they represented a significant portion of the squid biomass being consumed. That creates a mathematical problem. Sperm whales eat a lot. Entire populations of them require an enormous amount of food. And if colossal squid are making up a meaningful percentage of that diet, then there must be an enormous number of colossal squid available. Work backwards from the whales, and the estimates climb rapidly. Not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, potentially tens of millions. Tens of millions. An animal larger than most humans. An animal that can grow to the size of a small bus. And somehow, we almost never see one. This wasn't a mystery about a missing animal. It was a mystery about a missing observation. Because if these estimates were even remotely correct, there could be more colossal squid in the Southern Ocean than there are people in many countries. Yet throughout human history, we've barely managed to glimpse them. To understand why, we need to look at how humans explored the deep ocean in the first place. For most of modern history, deep sea exploration followed a fairly simple formula. Build something strong enough to survive the pressure. Lower it into the darkness. Turn on the lights. Lots of lights. Bright white lights. The deeper scientists went, the more illumination they needed. Or so they thought. And that's where the problem may have started, because below a few hundred meters, sunlight begins to disappear. Go deep enough, and the ocean becomes almost completely dark. Many animals spend their entire lives in that darkness, including the colossal squid. They evolved in an environment where even tiny flashes of light can mean the difference between finding food and becoming food. Their eyes are adapted to detect signals so faint that humans would never notice them. No animal there evolved to deal with floodlights until we arrived. And if colossal squid reacted like many other deep-sea animals, every expedition may have been announcing its presence long before it got close enough to observe anything. The colossal squid has the largest eyes of any known animal on Earth. Each one can reach nearly the size of a basketball. Scientists believe those enormous eyes help it detect movement and bioluminescent disturbances from incredible distances away. That makes sense. In the deep sea, seeing first can mean surviving. But imagine what happens when a research submersible suddenly enters that environment. Imagine spending your entire life in darkness. Then a search helicopter shines a spotlight directly into your face. That's essentially what we may have been doing. Every expedition that descended into the deep carried lights brighter than anything these animals would ever naturally encounter, and we assumed that if they were nearby, we'd see them. The reality may have been the exact opposite. Scientists eventually began studying how artificial light affects deep-sea ecosystems. The results were startling. Animals frequently fled illuminated areas. In some observations, biodiversity around bright lights dropped dramatically, not because the animals weren't there, because they had left. For decades, researchers explored the ocean while unintentionally warning everything nearby that they had arrived. And if that was happening to fish, crustaceans, and smaller squid, why wouldn't it happen to colossal squid too? The very tools designed to help us find them may have been driving them away. The breakthrough wasn't using less light, it was using different light. Most deep-sea species are highly sensitive to blue-green wavelengths. Those wavelengths dominate the deep ocean and are commonly used in bioluminescent communication. Red light is different. For many deep-sea organisms, it's effectively invisible. That meant researchers could potentially observe animals without disturbing them. And when they tried it, the results were immediate. Species that fled under white light remained calm under red light. Behavior changed. Observation quality improved. The environment looked different, and suddenly scientists were forced to confront an uncomfortable possibility. For decades, they hadn't just been observing the deep ocean, they had been altering it. But even that wasn't enough to solve the colossal squid mystery. Scientists still needed a way to attract animals without frightening them, and one researcher would end up pushing that idea further than anyone else. Her name was Edith Widder. Widder spent years studying bioluminescence and eventually realized something that most people overlooked. The deep ocean isn't silent. It's communicating constantly. An estimated majority of deep-sea organisms produce light, flashes, signals, warnings, lures. The deep ocean has its own language, and humans had spent decades exploring it without learning a single word. Widder wondered whether that language could be used, not to scare animals away, but to invite them closer. So she designed a system built around that idea. A camera illuminated with deep red light, and a device known as the E-jelly. The device mimicked the distress signal of an Atolla jellyfish. Essentially, a biological emergency broadcast, a signal that something nearby was under attack, exactly the sort of event that attracts curious predators. If the reason we couldn't find colossal squid was our own presence, then maybe the solution wasn't searching harder. Maybe it was becoming invisible. In 2004, Widder deployed the system in the Gulf of Mexico. The camera sat quietly in the darkness. No floodlights, no noisy submarine, no disturbance. Then the E-jelly activated. 86 seconds later, a squid appeared, over 6 feet long and completely unknown to science. Researchers had spent decades searching the deep ocean. Yet a silent camera discovered a previously unknown species in less than 2 minutes. The lesson was impossible to ignore. When we stopped shouting into the darkness, the ocean started answering back. Widder later developed a more advanced version of the system called Medusa. In 2012, it was deployed during an expedition near Japan. Again, there were no blinding lights, no intrusive submersibles, just darkness and carefully designed signals. This time, a giant squid appeared, alive, in its natural habitat. Not a colossal squid, but something almost as important. For the first time, researchers had proof that enormous deep-sea squid could be observed naturally without immediately fleeing. The approach worked. The problem had never been finding the right location. The problem was how we were looking. Over the course of the expedition, the giant squid appeared multiple times. The animal hadn't suddenly become easier to find. Humans had finally become easier to ignore. And the same pattern kept emerging elsewhere. Baited camera systems revealed species in areas scientists thought they already understood. Animals appeared near coastlines, near shipping routes, near tourist destinations, places where researchers had spent years working. The animals were there all along. Our methods had been the limitation. As technology improved, more evidence pointed in the same direction. Acoustic surveys revealed far more biomass than scientists expected. Environmental DNA allowed researchers to detect species from tiny traces left behind in the water. Advanced imaging systems studied animals without capturing them. Again and again, new tools produced the same conclusion. The ocean was not becoming more populated. We were becoming less disruptive. And the less we interfered, the more life we discovered. Which brings us back to the colossal squid. The animal was never the mystery. The mystery was us. For decades, we assumed the deep ocean was hiding its secrets. But many of those secrets weren't hidden at all. We were simply looking in ways that caused them to disappear. The colossal squid may still be one of the most elusive animals on Earth. Not because it's rare, not because it's impossible to find, and not because the Southern Ocean is empty, but because we spent decades announcing our arrival to one of the most light-sensitive environments on the planet, and only recently began learning how to enter quietly, which means that somewhere beneath the Southern Ocean right now, there are almost certainly colossal squid moving through the darkness. Not one, not a handful, potentially millions of them. One of the largest predators on Earth, living in plain sight, hidden only by the way we chose to look. And for most of human history, that was enough to make them disappear.